You look great in that haircut. And you, I love your positive energy. And you, I love our conversations. I always learn something from you. How did that feel to be complimented? It felt good, right? Well, you know what? It felt good to me too. Fellow Toastmasters and viewers, do you remember after 9/11, that heaviness that we all felt? It was like a black cloud was hanging over us, pushing down. But there was something that cut through all that. And you know what it was? We were nicer to each other. We didn't walk with our heads down like this. We looked at people and we smiled and we held the door for strangers. And after time, that heaviness, it dissipated, didn't go away, but it faded a little bit. And we went back to our ways. We don't need a tragedy to bring back some common courtesies. Little things that we can do every day that make other people feel good and make you feel good at the same time. I'm going to keep this really simple. I'm going to give 3 suggestions of ways we can all do this. And I already gave you one, and that's to compliment. How many of you think compliments, but you don't say them? You think them, but you don't say them. You think, that customer service rep was so helpful, but you don't say it. Or you think, I loved his speech last night, but you don't say it. You see a man walking down the street, I like his tie, but you don't say it. Well, I say the compliment. Obviously, it's going to make the other person feel good, and it's going to make you feel good too. Here's a tip about complimenting. When possible, compliment the person directly. You heard me say, you look great in that haircut. I said, you look great in that haircut. I didn't say I like your haircut. Both are true, but I complimented you directly. It's subtle, but it registers. Number 2, appreciate and thank. You remember way back when you wanted to thank somebody, you got out a piece of paper and a pen. What's that? I don't know too many people who do this anymore, but we used to write thank you notes and put them in the mail. Yes, the mail. I think that the art of thanking is lost, but it's so important. If you don't have time to write a thank you note, pick up the phone. You don't have time to pick up the phone? Get on your computer. Dear Joe, thank you so much for lending us your blender. We made the best frozen margaritas we've ever had. Bottoms up. Thanks again. What'd that take? What, 9 seconds maybe? 9 seconds to tell Joe that you appreciated something he did. It's so important to show your gratitude, no matter how big or how small. I'm going to tell you a story. A friend of mine was going on a trip, a big trip, without her toddler for the first time. And I said, you know, I just did the same thing. And when I was on my trip, I took little videos and I narrated things that I was doing and I sent them to my husband to share with our son. My husband said that our son watched those videos hundreds, literally hundreds of times. What can I say? I make a good video. My friend comes back from her trip and she says, Alex, guess what? I did what you suggested. I took videos, I sent them to my daughter, and she loved them. Thank you. Do you know how good that made me feel? I gave advice, no idea whether she's going to take it or not, took the advice, it worked for her. She looped back with me and told me how much she appreciated it. It made me feel so good. Take the time to appreciate and thank. Number 3. I'm going to show you what number 3 is. You ready? Ding. Smile. Did you know that research says that when you smile, not only do you make the other person feel good, but you feel better, even if you're in a rotten mood? Interesting, right? I'm going to tell you a story that I will admit to you, it is embarrassing, but I've come to terms with it, and I'm okay sharing it with you. Okay. Years ago, I realized something I was doing. When I would do a transaction at a store, this is what it looked like. I gave the money, I'd get my change, thank you. I didn't even look at the person, let alone smile at them. I just gave money to a stranger and I didn't even know what that person looked like. I knew that something had to change. So now I look at people and I smile at them. Sometimes I just reach around the counter and I give them a big hug and a kiss. That's not true. I do not do that. And I do not suggest you do that either. But I do suggest that you smile. Have you ever heard the song by Crosby, Stills, and Nash? If you smile at me, I will understand, 'cause that is something everybody everywhere knows in the same language. Beautiful, right? I mean, the sentiment, not my voice. Although maybe that's beautiful. See, I told you I was going to keep it simple. Compliment, appreciate and thank, and smile. 3 simple things that we can do every day that make other people feel good and make you feel good at the same time. We do not need a tragedy to give us perspective and make us nicer to people. So please, join me and let's bring back common courtesies. Thank you.